American Indians. But many different cultures built mounds in eastern North America for many different reasons. A people we now call the Adena built the earliest mounds and enclosures in the Ohio Valley, beginning almost 3,000 years ago. The Adena built conical burial mounds and sometimes large circular walls surrounding the mounds. They lived in small villages and were Ohio's first farmers, although they continued to hunt, fish, and gather wild plants as their ancestors had done for centuries. This is Miamisburg Mound. It is one of the largest Adena burial mounds ever built in the Ohio Valley. In many parts of Ohio, a culture we know today as the Hobo developed from the Adena by about 2,000 years ago. The Hobo built mounds and enclosures in a variety of shapes and sizes, including circles, squares, octagons, and the irregular walls that enclosed selected hilltops such as Fort Hill and Fort Ancient. The Hobo lived in small villages scattered around and among their great earthworks. They farmed, fished, gathered wild plants, and hunted in the rich valleys of central and southern Ohio. This is an aerial view of Octagon State Memorial in Newark, Ohio. This gigantic earthen circle, connected to an even larger octagonal enclosure, is but one part of Newark Earthworks, the largest set of earthworks built by the Hobo. The late woodland and late prehistoric cultures of Ohio stopped building mounds and earthworks on the scale of the Hobo. Occasionally, they would build small burial mounds, but usually they buried their dead in stone-covered graves. During this period, the Indians lived in larger and larger villages. Often these villages were surrounded by a stockade wall. The people continued to hunt, fish, and gather wild plants, but by late prehistoric times, farming provided the bulk of the diet. In Illinois, one village of this period grew into a thriving city. At its height, around AD 1000, Cahokia may have been home to more than 20,000 people. The residents of Cahokia built a large number of platform mounds. One of these, Monk's Mound, is the largest mound built in North America, rising to a height of 100 feet and containing more than 21,700,000 cubic feet of earth. Ohio's late prehistoric people built no such pyramids of earth here, but if archaeologists have correctly interpreted the evidence, they did build the world's largest serpent effigy. Serpent Mound in Adams County is more than 1,300 feet long. There are Adena burial mounds located near the serpent, leading some archaeologists to believe that the Adena also built the serpent. But two radiocarbon dates on charcoal from deep inside the serpent indicate it was built by the Fort Ancient people, a late prehistoric culture that thrived in southern Ohio. Many generations of Indian peoples built the earthworks of Ohio, and there are many different kinds of mounds and enclosures. Some are cemeteries, others are places of ceremony or celebration, still others are giant animal effigies. Many of Ohio's earthworks have vanished beneath the plow and the bulldozer. Those precious few that remain preserve an important chapter of Ohio's past.